All right, yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. What's good with you? Let me untangle some stuff here. What's good with you? Man. All right. Let's get this thing right. All right. Here we go. This is better. This is better. This is better. What's good, party people? Let's get this thing rocking. All right. Let's try to get this thing rocking, party people. Now, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we are. Yo, it's been a minute since I've been on with y'all. Just wanted to rock and roll a little bit, little something, something. Little something. Just want to rock. Just want to get a feeling for how y'all feeling. There's been some news out here and want to talk about it with y'all to get y'all feeling on a few items. The first thing that comes to mind right off rip is, what is this deal with Tom Thibodeau saying Evan Fournier is the front runner for the starting shooting guard spot? I need to know how y'all feel about this, because I'm at a point where now I'm thinking, are we being sent mixed messages? As a Knicks fan, are we being sent mixed messages? I'm trying to figure out how the starters are named off the rip. And just Friday night, Leon Rose said the one thing about Tibbs is that everybody's enters training camp with an open slate. Is that not what we heard? Yo, before we get started in depth, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Support your guy, man. Support your guy. Subscribe to the channel, man. We need to get these subscriptions up, man. I think people are subscribing to a whole lot of stuff, not subscribing to your guy. Subscribe to your man, Blorange Tears. Ben, we in the building. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Right? We were told Friday night by Leon Rose that the one thing about Tibbs entering training camp is that everybody enters with a clean slate. And then Tuesday morning, we hear that Tibbs says, yeah, Evan is probably the starter. We need shooting to go with RJ, JB, and Julius. So I can't figure out. It's got me in a weird state, and I need for y'all to help me with this. Y'all help me figure this thing out, because I don't want to get negative, and I don't want to sound super positive or whatever. I'm in search of the truth. And if y'all can help me find it, bam. If y'all can help me find out what the truth is, that's what we really want. So shout out to Morocco Joe and them. You know what I'm saying? Canal Bond Lawyer, East Blue Drew is in the building. Was good. David L. JJ was good. Salute. Kerry Cox is in the building. Almighty Finesse. AD, so smooth. He doesn't require a chaser, is in the building. Bunch of people in here, man. Pudge Nice. Worldwide L. What's good, Chef? Sharice Duncan is in the building. What's good? Sharice says Grimes is going to finish more games than Fournier because of his defense. You would think that. So here's where I am with Joshua Rivera's in the building. What's good? Here is the thing with what I don't get. I honestly don't care at this point who starts or who finishes or who does whatever. What I'd like to know, what I like, would like is to be told something and it actually be true for a significant stitch of time. What I'd like is to be told something and it be true for a significant amount of time, right? What I don't want is to be shot the gas. Why are you shooting me the gas? Why you shooting me the gas? So for one, before Quentin Grimes got hurt, he was shooting the 3-pointer at a higher percentage than Evan Fournier. And they finished the season both in a 38% range. Injuries, ineffectiveness, roster change, roster turnovers, starting lineups, all that stuff, regardless of what you go by, regardless if what your unit of measure is, one dude shot 38.9, Evan Fournier, and another dude shot 38.1, Quentin Grimes. Evan Fournier shot 38.9. Grimes shot 38.1. Don't matter how they got to that number, whether because Grimes played the majority of the season as a better shooter than Fournier. Grimes was in the 39, high 39s, 40s. Fournier was in the 40s and then shot around 37 after the All-Star break. No matter how you got to 38.9, it don't matter. No matter, regardless how you got to 38.1, it don't matter. The fact is both finished the season 38%. But Friday I was told by Leon Rose that these players would enter training camp with the open slate. And Tuesday of the following week, starters are declared after with one practice in or before one practice is complete. Starters are already named. My deal is So Nick G says context matters. Yeah, man. And listen, man, I'm with you. The only thing I want to know is if this thing, if there, okay, if stability is the thing that Tibbs is going with, right? Play the vets. They know better. Bring the kids along. I'm okay with that. Just tell me that. Y'all feel me? And so the thing is, like what Ed Santana says, Leon Rose says something different, and Tibbs does the opposite. And so Cherie says love Grimes, but he not better than Fournier. And so that's the thing that I'm getting at is I don't expect Grimes to be better than Fournier automatically. Salute Hardwell in the building. Like with me, at this point, man, it's the end of September. Who cares? It's the beginning of September. Things don't really matter until the middle of October. Who cares? Who cares who's on the first unit or the second unit and all these different things and blah, 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 and all that. Just tell me the truth. Don't mislead me. I'm just a regular guy. Shout out to DSJ in the building. I heard you got some fire there, sir. DSJ is in the building. I heard you got some fire. Shout out to Hardwell. Inwood is in the building. Shout out to all my family in Inwood, New York. Shout out to Inwood. Kaiser Sosa, he says, all of this will sort itself out. Just hold everyone to the same standards. This is, yeah, right. Okay. So Kaiser, he basically saying what we getting at. Like as long as, because, so Kaiser, here here's the thing. So Kaiser is getting to the root cause of what I'm saying. Just hold everybody to the same standard. It's the reason why when I heard the term clean slate, I was thinking, okay, everyone is going to be held to the same standard and everyone's going to have to earn what it is, right? So here's the thing. If Fournier is better than Grimes right now, okay, I dig it. If Fournier is better than Grimes, I have no problem with Fournier being better, and I have no problem with Grimes being a young second-year player trying to find his way. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is now this thing of holding people accountable is already getting off to a rocky start. It's already off to a rocky start. And I'm not, listen, when I mentioned that, I'm not saying that this team doesn't want to hold people accountable. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they absolutely want to hold everybody to absolutely want to hold everybody accountable, right? But it just may be a tough task. It may be a tough task. Maybe a tougher task than we anticipated. The accountability thing might just be tougher than what we thought. Without hurting feelings or disrupting the harmony, because the harmony is absolutely key to the chemistry. Peace and harmony is absolutely key. I get that. I believe in the accountability aspect. I heard so many players say it yesterday that I think everybody is coming in with the mindset that everybody has to be accountable and things of that sort. And there are other things too. So what I'm getting at is how do we say on Friday night, the thing that he understands with Tibbs, and this is a quote by Leon Rose. Well, let me not quote directly. Let me paraphrase what Leon Rose said. He basically relayed to us that Tibbs is coming in with all players having a clean slate. And then no basketball is played until this morning, and Evan Fournier is the leader in the clubhouse at the starting shooting guard spot because the Knicks need shooting to go with Jalen Brunson, RJ, and Randall. And all of this is determined in one morning. Hey, Mr. Vince is in the building. Keith Turner, what's good? I see you, Nick G, in the building. David L. Rome Far Rock. Shout out to all my family in Inwood. What's good? And so what I'm getting at is I just want to be told a linear message. Like if it's gonna be, if this is a message coming from the organization, just want it to be linear. Just be in a straight line. That's it. If it's a clean slate, it's a clean slate. If it's a clean slate, it's a clean slate. Everybody has a clean slate. Everybody get a chance. I get it. That's it. But if it's one of those deals where it's seniority, if seniority is it, just say it's seniority. Yeah, man. Y'all hit that like button, man, for your homies. It hadn't even been a week yet. It's Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday morning. So you're talking about 4 days, maybe 4 days. 4 days before the narrative is challenged. So Morocco Joe says, I'm pretty sure they trying to get Fournier trade value up and maybe flip him and 2 firsts for a 2 guard or 3-point shooting at the deadline to allow RJ to play at the 2. I don't know. Hey, Morocco Joe, I think you run the risk of losing too many games by trying to gamble for a guy by playing another guy, showcasing is yeah. Greeny from LI is in the building. What's good? What's good, Greeny? It's T. Ugh. Derrick Rose, I got to get off the sugar too. Derrick Rose, you said something profound yesterday, man. You're like getting off the sugar. I think I absolutely have to get off the sugar. Derrick Rose said something profound yesterday. He said he lost weight because he got off sugar. Derrick Rose, I'm gonna have to follow your path, bro. I'm gonna have to follow your path. Get off this sugar, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Where we are right now, and I'm not saying already, and I'm not trying to ring the alarm. I'm not trying to ring the alarm, man. Listen, I don't want to do that. Right? I'm not trying to ring the alarm already. That's not what I want. What I want, what Uncle Freezy wants, is absolutely peace in the valley, at least for a little while. Subliminal 209 is in the building. What's good? Subliminal 209 is living his best life. So there are so many things that go into this thing. So if Grimes was held out of the Donovan Mitchell deal, if Grimes was held out of the Donovan Mitchell deal. So I'm trying to get, so basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to figure this out. Y'all help me figure this out. Chat, help me figure this out. Because I don't have all the answers. As a matter of fact, I don't have any of the answers. And I know that sounds crazy for somebody that has a platform like this and rock and rolls with the best fans in the world. Like, how does a dude have a popping live stream where people just jump on there, is lit, and he don't have answers? Hey man, listen, I'm not perfect. I do rely a lot on y'all. I do respect y'all opinion. And right now is one of the times I'm telling y'all that I need y'all help to figure this out. I know people want to throw tomatoes like, boo, Uncle Freezy don't have all the answers. I don't, man. I don't. I just can't figure this thing out. Somebody help me. Would this somebody help me figure out why you keep Grimes? He's so valuable that you don't put him in a Donovan Mitchell deal, and before you have a week of training camp practice, he's already stationed to the bench. Somebody help me with this. Because listen, this is not a referendum on Grimes. Trust me, I think Grimes may be the victim here. Right? I think Quentin Grimes may be the victim here. Not a victim in a sense that Evan Fournier is starting, but a victim in the sense that we were all told that everyone gets a clean slate, and before we can even get to participate, my man is already on the bench. So think about what I'm saying. I'm not knocking Grimes here. I'm actually being an advocate, not for Grimes being the starter, but for Grimes getting a fair shot at starting. Because this is one of those things that is a tip of the iceberg event. This is one of those things that is a tip of the iceberg event. Right? And hear me out on this. And I don't know if I'm absolutely right or wrong. Y'all feel free to throw as many tomatoes or ham sandwiches at me as you want. I just want to know, am I thinking this thing through correct? Am I processing this thing in a sane mindset? Because Friday we were told that Tibbs is gonna approach this with a clean slate. This morning we find out before 3 or 4 days of practice, Quentin Grimes is already relegated to the bench. Grimes is already relegated to the bench. So what that tells me is a number of things. It tells me a number of things, right? Here is thing number one. Here's thing number one, right? There is a disconnect with this player's value. Because if Grimes is that good to be left out of a trade for a 3-time superstar, then one entity believes that this player is absolutely an NBA starter at a minimum, at a maximum, a potential all-star. Because you don't keep a guy out of a trade for a superstar unless you feel like that guy can be a star at a minimum himself. And this is no knock on Fournier, mind you. I'm not knocking Fournier. I'm not saying that Fournier is a bad player, y'all. Just stay with me on this. Just stay with me on this. I'm not saying Fournier is a bad player. We like Fournier. Fournier shot 38% from 3. Fournier is a decent player. It's not that. I'm not knocking Fournier. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm knocking the message. So if Grimes is not given the opportunity with a clean slate, does that mean Quentin Grimes not a Tom Thibodeau type player? Is that what we read out? Is that what we glean from this? Is it a Joe Madden is in the building? Joe Madden, what's up, brother? Joe Madden, I see you, man. How you been, Joe? It's good to see you, Joe. So it's one of these. If everybody got a clean slate, Quentin Grimes was not in the Donovan Mitchell trade because the team values Quentin Grimes, but Quentin Grimes comes to camp, and before you can get 2 or 3 days in camp, Evan Fournier is the starter, even though Quentin Grimes and Evan Fournier shot about the same percentage from 3. Fournier shot 38.9. Grimes shot 38.1. We knew Grimes' numbers went down because Grimes was hurt, and then he had the injury. So he was playing hurt, which was one of the reasons why his numbers came down. And then he got injured, and that had him out for the season. My main question is, why would this question be answered so early? Anybody else agree with me on that? Anybody else understand that? Anybody else wondering why the starting 5 question is answered the first day of training camp? If everybody came in with a clean slate, Friday we were told everyone has a clean slate. The first day of training camp, the morning of training camp, the starters question is answered. My thing to Tom Thibodeau is, what have you seen in 1 hour of training camp that makes you declare the starters for the upcoming season? And if Tom Thibodeau can declare starters basically, in the first hour or first few hours of training camp, is that an indictment of what the roster looks like overall? And JJ, you're right. He didn't declare it. He said Fournier is the leader in the clubhouse. Or not leader in the clubhouse. It was something to that. Like Fournier is the starter written in pencil, kinda. He didn't say it that way, but that's the vibe I got. Fournier is the starter written in chalk. RJ, JB, and Brunson are starters. When he said that, you could tell they don't have anybody on the roster that'll beat out Randall at power forward, RJ, and Jalen Brunson. But why would we say that so early? Why wouldn't we just have this thing? Is it merely one of those things, respect for a highly traveled, seasoned veteran? Because if that's the case, why not just say that? If it's just a case of a veteran getting the nod at the opening of training camp, why not just say that? Hey, Evan's a veteran. We gotta, if these guys want Evan's spot, they have to come take it. Why not just say it that way? And then that way, guys like myself, people that think deeply about everything Knicks related. Everything that's Knicks related, man, I think deeply about it. I've been a fan since the 70s, man. I've been a fan for and so I'm not knocking what Leon Rose said, because I think what Leon Rose said, when he said it, he believed it. When Leon Rose said it, I think he believed it. Right? But at the same time, he said he lets Tom Thibodeau be the coach. He don't make those decisions. If you go back to Friday night, he was like, coach is the coach on the floor. Coach is the coach. Coach is the coach. Coach handle all that stuff. But as I sit here after 4 p.m. on the first day of training camp, we already have questions about things that are said. And Quiet Money, that's my guy. Quiet Money, Brooklyn in the building. Brooklyn, stand up. He says, because he has to take the spot, it won't be handed to him. But I get that. Quiet Money, listen, I get that, and I believe that in my heart. I don't believe in giving nobody nothing. You got to earn it. Right? I believe that in my heart. That's what I live by. All the stuff that in my life, I was handed some things to help me on the way. But when I could handle myself, I had to earn everything, bro. Everything. So I understand where you're coming from when you say that. Here's the thing. Why not say that out loud? If everyone has a clean slate, why not say, hey, everybody has a clean slate? Positions are all up for grabs. Everyone has a clean slate. But these veterans have proven so much that if somebody challenged them wants their spot, they have to challenge them for that spot and take it. So y'all got a lot of good questions in the chat, man. I'm reading some of y'all questions in the chat. Y'all have some really good questions. So, but here's the thing. You remember? So a few minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago, I said this is the tip of an iceberg. This is the tip of an iceberg, and here's why. Because if everyone gets a clean slate, but the starters are already being mentioned in the first couple hours of training camp, what does that mean for other guys that deserve a clean slate and a chance to rock? What does that mean for the other guys? So if Grimes is not given a shot to start already, what does that mean for other people that we feel like deserve minutes? Do they get the same clean slate treatment? Sherwin is in the building. What's good? Sherwin coming in here starting already. Sherwin in here trying to rock the boat already. Sherwin, we trying to move on. Sherwin, Sherwin, we trying to move on. Sherwin in here rocking the boat already. Sherwin says, Tibbs just said Fournier is the top candidate to start. And then Sherwin goes on to say, if that's the case, I see no more than 35 wins. Sherwin coming in, rocking the boat already. And then Sherwin goes on to say, I am a Grimes fan, but he should not start over Cam Reddish. Oh, geez. All right. I'm gonna get to I want to throw this point out here before I get back to the other comments. Salute to West Coast Knicks. Salute to Anthony 212. Jarrell, what's good, man? Jarrell, what's good, man? I see you, brother. Eric Suriel's in the building. Hall Will representing. So if the clean slate is a thing, because clean slate is a thing, and if it wasn't, I'm making it a thing, because it goes back to our thing all summer long. The one word we wanted to see and we didn't see the last 2 years: accountability. Accountability is what we wanted to see. That's why the whole clean slate thing made us, it was like that when Leon Rose said clean slate, it was tantalizing to us because it gave us the impression that players would earn minutes based off of production, based off of accountability, like based on what best fits the team. Talent, responsibility, leadership, all these things. So when we heard the term clean slate, we were like, oh boy, this is our chance. We finally get to that place. We finally get to that place where clean slate and accountability trump everything. Man. Man, the chat is going crazy, man. Chat, listen, y'all are overwhelming me with some of y'all comments. Not the number of them, but the starkness of what y'all are saying is like overwhelming me up here. I'm in like a certain train of thought, and then I'm reading y'all comments, and I'm like, damn, boy, the chat is on fire. So here, excuse me. Here's the thing. If clean slate is a thing, I believe it is. I want to make it a thing. Clean slate. Accountability. Accountability. We want our players to be accountable. We want our coaches to be accountable. We want everyone, we want the front office to be accountable. We want everybody to do a good job. And when they don't do a good job, recognize the mistake and fix it. That's all Knicks fans really want. Everybody makes mistakes, man. Everybody has an error in judgment sometime. But what you don't want to have is error in judgment, no accountability, and then it snowballs into a disaster. So for the love of the game, man, make sure y'all check those fellas out, man. Subscribe to the channel. Hey, listen, the big channel, subscribe to the big channel. They didn't tell me that, right? They didn't tell me that. They'll probably tell y'all to subscribe to both, or however. But make sure you check them guys out, man. I love both of those dudes like brothers, man. Love both of those dudes like brothers. They're my brothers over there. And Hardwell, World YL in the building. We giving Tibbs a clean slate, but he didn't give players a fair shot with this Fournier crap. And so the thing is, it may just be listen. If Tibbs had a senior moment and meant one thing and said something else, I get it. When you get to a certain age, like you be thinking one thing, and then you say something else, and then you're like, oh, geez, did I just say that? Did I just put my foot in my mouth? So that might be one of those things. You know what I'm saying? That might be what it is, man. But listen, if that's that thing, then you have to come back and say, hey, listen, we are giving these players a clean slate. Forget about all the things that happened in the past. We coming in new. Show me what you got right now. The thing is with the clean slate is forget all your past transgressions. Because here's another thing, just real quick, and I promise you I'm gonna get to the tip of the iceberg thing, because the tip of the iceberg is a thing. You feel me? This point I'm about to make about the tip of the iceberg is a thing. But if you coming in with the clean slate, all your past transgressions are wiped away, right? Some people in the Knicks fan base would agree with me when I say the biggest transgressor from last year was Julius Randle. The biggest transgressor from last year was Julius Randle. It was not Evan Fournier. And y'all know I love Randle. I love Randle like a fat kid love cake. Y'all know where that's from. That's a quote from a song, right? But one could easily surmise that the biggest transgressor from last year is Julius Randle, right? And he would need the biggest slate and the biggest cleaning crew to clean the biggest slate because he had the most stuff to be cleaned up. And he declared Julius Randle a starter. Jarrell is reading my mind, by the way. Jarrell is reading my mind. You know what I'm saying? Jarrell reading my mind. I like Randle a lot. Randle might be my second or third favorite Knick. Right? But if we're talking about clean slate, if we're talking about clean slate and accountability, how in the world can you reconcile what Randle did in multiple games last year in one morning of training camp? Yo, y'all cooking, man. Y'all are cooking in the chat, bro. Y'all got some things on your mind. Y'all are cooking. And Darren Wayne said, okay, so this is one of the things I want to get to. I'm gonna get to tip of the iceberg just after this. Darren Wayne says clean slate means that all accomplishments and negatives are wiped away. All the positions should not be thrown open. If McBride outplays Brunson in camp, should he start? Heck no. Okay. All right. So, with this example, Wayne, with this example that you just mentioned, the clean slate means all accomplishments and negatives are wiped away, right? That means everything. It don't matter if they positives or negatives. If it's a clean slate, that means your slate is absolutely clean. Right? That means the best man win. That means so clean slate means that everything is wiped away. Right. That means there's an absolutely clean slate. So it don't matter what Jalen Brunson did in Dallas. And it don't matter what Miles McBride did last year for the Knicks. If it's an absolute clean slate, if it's an open competition, let the best man win. All the positions should not be thrown open. So that's the contradiction. So if it's based on seniority, then it's not clean slate. I got you. I'm gonna read your next comment because where's your comment at? Because I know you. I know what. Usually, what happens is when you put something in the chat and somebody puts something, they put something. Okay, I got you. I see it. I see it. StreamYard is a little bit slower than YouTube. I'm on the StreamYard joint. So, okay. So Darren Wayne says there's not such a thing as a clean slate, but Leon Rose said there was. Leon Rose said it out of his own mouth, and we heard it. And Miss Geraldine says, whether clean slate or not, Grimes still need to earn that starting spot. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Grimes should not earn that spot. I'm absolutely saying he should have the opportunity to earn that spot. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is these guys need the opportunity to. So let me move on to what I think is the tip of the iceberg. Because this is not a Grimes referendum. This is a talent referendum. This is a talent referendum. So here's the tip of the iceberg thing. So if you think that Quentin Grimes should get the opportunity to expand his role because of the clean slate thing that Leon Rose mentioned, and Quentin Grimes is already not given the chance to be the starter, then how do you feel about Obi Toppin and Julius Randle? Quentin Grimes is the tip of the iceberg. So if Grimes already is not given a shot to start, that means that's the tip of the iceberg. That's a mindset. That's a mindset. Because if clean slate means nothing, if accountability means nothing, and Julius Randle, who I love, man, I love Randle. Y'all know that. And Randle, if I'm watching, your people watching, y'all know I love, man, listen. I love Randle at Kentucky. I love Randle coming out of Dallas. I loved the Julius Randle, Terrence Jones archetype of NBA player. I like that type player, right? I love the big, powerful, big, nimble guy. I love the Anthony Mason type player, the Charles Barkley type power forward, the power forward that could grab a rebound off the rim and push it. I love that, man. I love it. It's exciting to me. So I love Randle since the first time I saw him at Kentucky. I didn't see none of his high school stuff. I saw his high school stuff after he was a Knick. I went back and watched it because he was a Knick, right? I love Randle, but there was some times last year that Randle had some questionable moments. And if Randle gets a clean slate, how does Obi not get the same opportunity? And I know and I understand that there are not a lot of people in the fan base that are Obi fans. I like Obi. Obi frustrates me a lot because my preferred power forward archetype. I just mentioned it. I like power forwards that are powerful and agile. I like power forwards that grab rebounds and push the ball up and look to do something. Obi ain't that. Obi's the opposite. Obi is the power forward that defends the modern power forward and does some. Obi's a different type power forward. I like to consider Obi a big wing player. I don't know if he's a power forward in today's NBA either. Right? I don't know if Obi's a power forward because I don't know if Obi does the classic power forward stuff, like weak side rim protection, rebound at a high level, like is Obi rebound percentage, as high as it should be per 100 possessions and all of that stuff. But that's neither here nor there right now because that was then and this is now. What Obi did his first 2 seasons, if we talking clean slate, I'm wiping away all that stuff. I'm interested to see what Obi Toppin does in this training camp. Obi, show me what you got. Obi, show me what you got. Right? I'm not throwing Obi away based on clean slate. Whatever he did the last 2 years, I don't care. It's a new day. It's a clean slate. It's a brand new training camp. Kids, show us what you got. Right? You did all this work this summer. Let's see how that impacts your game going forward. Right? But if Tibbs already has starters 2 or 3 hours into training camp, and we expected, the Obi Toppins of the world to take on more improved roles, how do we know that when the messaging is suggesting that it's the same old stuff? The messaging already is that, nothing's going to change. It's the same stuff from last year. And listen, if it's the same stuff as last year, okay. If it's the same stuff as last year, and we're just going to bank on staying healthy, doing the same stuff from last year, just be consistent, right? I don't like it, but I can rock with it. I can rock with consistency, right? I can rock with consistency, right? I'm not a fan of all the stuff that I saw last year, but if organizations want to do things to be consistent, get into a groove, and all those type things, I can understand that, right? God dog it, Jarrell, Jarrell Williams looking at my, Miss Teacher, Jarrell Williams looking at my notes. Jarrell Williams cheating. Jarrell, read my mind, bro. Slow down. Let me rock. I promise you, I'm gonna get there. But I gotta lay all these, Jarrell. I gotta lay all these points out, bro. Yo, this is wild. This is wild. So, in this tip of the iceberg thing that I wanted to mention to y'all is this: if indeed the Knicks are taking the clean slate approach, if indeed the clean slate approach is just theory only, and the coach wants to send a message to the team, to these young players, that if you want something that you have to come take it, why not just tell everybody that is the plan? Why not just tell everybody that's the plan? If you want it, come take it. My fear is that it might be the opposite, and it's early. So it's only a fear. It's only got me nervous that clean slate is not the way that we're going to go. If we're not going with clean slate, if Obi Toppin is being judged on how he performed last year, then we might not see the very best of Obi Toppin. If we're not going clean slate, then we're not going to see what Cam Reddish can be, because he's not going to be given an opportunity with a clean slate. Jericho Sims is not going to be given an opportunity. He's not going to be given a clean slate. right? It's just one of those deals. It's one of those deals where the clean slate may just be in theory only. And our coaching staff is only taking the approach that they are comfortable with guys that they have developed thus far. Maybe the clean slate thing is just in theory only. The tip of the iceberg thing only exists if the clean slate thing is a contradiction. If the clean slate thing is a real thing, and maybe Tibbs just said something funky, like he said one thing meant something else. Y'all know what it. Y'all know what I mean. Yeah. Oh, gee. Yeah. Q Hicks. Yeah. The verbiage is skewed. It sends an uncertain message to the fans and to the play. Right. Right. I would like it if everybody got a clean slate. Everybody, including Randall, get a clean slate. Like just wash off this funk from last year and just put your best foot forward. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that's the case. All right. So I got somebody at the door. I'm gonna wrap up right here, y'all. Hey, thank y'all for rocking with me, man. This was like the fastest hour you can imagine. I'm gonna be back on in a little bit. Thank you everybody for coming through. I'm gonna see y'all in a little bit. Peace, y'all.